Gia, I'm not ready yet. That is the statement I hear the most from homeowners thinking of selling their home and buyers looking to purchase in this market. What I know is that it's a huge process to sell your home. So today, we're gonna talk about the process of selling the home and the 4 steps that it's broken into. I'm Gia Silva, owner-broker of INTI Realty. Let's get right to it. So as you just heard me say, the process of selling your home can be broken down into 4 steps, which we're gonna go over. I've realized that perhaps homeowners haven't gone through these processes before, and they may not understand that it is so important to spend time in the first process that we're gonna discuss so that we can look at absolutely everything, unfold what's important to you. So let's get right to it. The first step of the selling process is the discovery process. The discovery process I would consider to be one of the most important processes throughout the sale of your home. This is why it's important, because this is exactly what we do. We discover. So you as a seller, as a homeowner, we unfold pretty much everything. Are you going to be purchasing another home after selling this one? Are you going to be obtaining financing to purchase another home? Or will you be purchasing it cash? Will you have contingencies? So important. Meaning, do you need the funds from the sale of your home to purchase another home? And that has to do with contingencies. And what about, are you moving out of California? Are you just thinking of moving in the same city, within the same city? There are so many things to unfold during the discovery process. Also, through the discovery process, we are able to find out your timeline. What needs to happen, if there are specific dates that we need to remove from the calendar, if there are things that need to happen in the home, repairs, upgrades before listing it. So you gotta ask yourself these questions during the discovery process, right? This is when you're asking yourself, do I need the funds from my home in order to buy another home? Can I get a HELOC for my house so that I don't need to have that contingency? And if I am thinking of doing some upgrades to the house, what's my budget, right? Also, who is involved in this whole entire process to get you from point A, your home that you're selling, to your next home? Are you asking yourself these questions? Wait, before I forget, during the discovery process, it's also a really great time to review costs. What are some of the costs that as a seller, you're going to incur? So we go through everything that has to do with closing costs. What is it gonna cost you to sell a home? So all of those costs average out to about 6 to 7% of the sales price of your house. Again, that includes real estate fees, escrow fees, title fees, recording fees, and of course there's other fees that are negotiable throughout the escrow, but we'll get to that in the escrow process. Now that we have clarity about your timeline, what needs to get done, all of the ideas and thoughts that we've discovered in the discovery process are now taken to the next step, which is the listing process. The listing process can be broken down like this. We have marketing strategy, pricing strategy, coming soon, open house, and showings. The first step is your marketing strategy and pricing strategy. And I would say they go hand in hand. We have to know exactly what needs to get done to the property. Are you going to be staging the property? Are you going to be doing some repairs, some upgrades before actually getting it on the market? But before it hits the market, through our marketing strategy and pricing strategy, we have to make sure that the property looks great here before people actually come through the door. If the property doesn't appeal here, people are gonna swipe left. So making sure that the marketing for your property is really powerful. I mean, beautiful photos, photography, even a story behind it is gonna do magic. But remember, it's also really important to have the right pricing strategy. Have you seen those homes that are sitting on the market for 90 days, 100 days in a seller's market where most properties are selling in days? I would say that the #1 reason that they're not selling is because of the pricing strategy. When it comes to pricing strategies, here's what I know throughout my 20 years in real estate. There's really 3 ways to price your home. The first one is to price it way above market value. Well, you may get a couple of buyers that may not offer and may just wait until the property comes down in price. The second way to price your home is at market value. You know you're gonna get this price, the comparables are supporting this value, and you're probably gonna get 1 or 2 buyers that offer that market value or maybe just a little bit less because it's priced at market value. The third way to price your home, again, it all depends on what kind of market we are in. But the third way to price your home is actually pricing it just below market value. Here's what we know. If there's really high demand in the area that your home is in and not a lot of homes for sale, then pricing it right below market value is gonna get you those multiple offers and over asking. Okay, let's get into the next phase of the listing process, which is now coming soon, then open house, and then showings. Coming soon. Okay, so how does coming soon work? Well, here's what I would compare it to. You know the movies that are about to come into theaters and there's a huge buzz when you go see a movie and all the previews come up? I don't know, are previews still going on? Maybe they are. But if they are, that's what a coming soon strategy, a coming soon campaign is. It's really creating a buzz in the market, like this property that's a really nice one is coming soon on the market. What do you think is gonna happen? Buyers are gonna be lining out the door to see your property, especially if there's not that many homes on the market. So having a really great coming soon campaign is awesome. Then it's the open house. Remember, we only have one chance to make the best first impression in an open house. So again, making sure that the property looks great here on the phone, then we get the buyers through the door and into the open house and give them an entire experience. Here's what I mean. I'm wondering if you've ever walked into an open house where it's dead. I mean, no sound, no people, no furniture, no nothing. It's pretty sad, isn't it? We know that by creating an ultimate open house experience, not only are we creating that buzz that we've created with the Coming Soon campaign, but we're also getting people that are seeing how many other people are in the home and they believe it's a hot home. And after the open house, of course, there will be private showings where agents will be bringing their buyers to see your home. So besides getting it right in the open house and making sure it's a wonderful experience for buyers, know that if the buyers weren't able to make it to that open house date, they may be coming back afterwards for a private showing. You went through the discovery process, you listed the property correctly, and now we are at the offer process where offers should be coming in. Okay, I'm gonna tell you a secret. This process is definitely my favorite process, the offer process. So again, we've done everything right. You should be getting multiple offers on your property. And here's where most homeowners, with their agent, of course, working with their agent, forget some of the steps that are super important before actually entering into an escrow with a buyer. As you're receiving offers for your home, it is very important to gather all of the facts. I'm talking about buyer's qualifications, their proof of funds, and exactly all of the terms outlined that can match and are consistent with your timeline as well. As we're gathering the facts, we are also reviewing the evidence, making sure that everything is up to par. So if the buyers have a certain amount of down payment that they're saying that they will put down for your home, you gotta make sure that that's what they have in the bank or in another investment account. And lastly, once you've gathered all the facts, reviewed all of the evidence, it's time to negotiate by writing counters. You see, when you receive offers for your property, you can either accept them, reject them, or counter them. And countering really just means now you're in negotiations. Both seller and buyer start negotiating terms, price, and everything before you actually open an escrow. If you've done it all right, you should be now in the escrow process, the final process. So once all terms, price have been negotiated, it's time to open escrow. And what happens after opening escrow is that the buyer has certain days, certain timelines that they need to meet, and you as a seller, you also have certain deadlines that you need to meet as well. For the sake of time, I can't go into a whole entire purchase contract. It's about 15 pages. But here are the most important things to know. There are contingencies. Just like a seller like yourself has contingencies, the buyer has contingencies as well. Now, if you've done it right, all of those contingency periods, timelines have been negotiated even before opening escrow. So you know exactly what to expect and when that buyer is gonna be fully committed to buying your property. After the buyer has their inspections and investigations, they may come back and want to negotiate again only if those negotiations did not happen prior to opening escrow. After all negotiations are completed, it is time to close escrow. This is where now the buyer gets the keys to their new home and you as the seller are able to move on to your next home. Now, once again, if we've done this right in the discovery process, and let's say that you needed to sell your home before purchasing another one, perhaps you already negotiated to stay in your home for a little bit of extra time until you're able to close on that next home. Remember, all of this has to be negotiated before opening escrow, and again, has to be discovered in the discovery process. Okay, let's recap. The process of selling your home has 4 different processes within: the discovery process, the listing process, the offer process, and the escrow process. It is so important that you go through all of these processes because it's all situational, as we know. Everyone has a different story. 2 houses are never the same. 2 families are never the same. So it's really important to spend a lot of time in each of these processes so that they're smooth and seamless. Okay, so when I say important, I mean that important equates to how much money we're gonna be able to get for your property and ultimately how much you're going to net. So if an extra $20,000 to $30,000 is not that important to you, don't listen to me. If you've told yourself, I'm not ready yet, I need to do this and this and this before I even think about listing my home, it sounds like we need to go through the discovery process. What questions do you have for me? Make sure to call me, text me, send me an email if you have any more questions or something specific to your situation. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.